I'm super excited you're here to learn about AXIO. This is something that actually got me into Life Advantage because of what I saw in this little guy that I was working with. AXIO is designed to address brain fatigue. I remember meeting the scientist, and he says to me, "Look, AXIO is designed to address brain fatigue. Most people are tired, but we're treating fatigue from a body perspective, not a mind perspective. So you think about all the reasons why we're tired now, most of them are because we're mentally tired. So there's two types of Axio. There's a caffeinated and a decaffeinated Axio. I'm going to go through each one and the benefits of them and why you might consider. Here's how you'll know you might benefit from Axio. You're already trying to do things now. So if you're doing coffee or energy drinks or soda, or you're kind of craving sugar, you're getting that letdown in the afternoon, you feel like you're fatiguing, like trying to, work on a project, can't stay focused, not clicking on all cylinders, like just hard to stay in the zone, your brain is struggling. And brain fatigue looks different in different people. The brain's job is to learn, remember, retain, recall, and coordinate everything. So if you feel like you're struggling in that department in any way, shape, or form, like this could be a benefit, but to me, it's much bigger than just the day-to-day performance. Our brain is like something we have our entire life, and it gets injured, it gets insulted, and it's constantly working. And so, if you read books like The End of Alzheimer's, Dr. Bredesen, he talks about we need to be doing stuff actively daily to support the brain and it's doing its job, but also protect it. And one of the critical things he talks about is the inflammation that's there, but also the lack of nutrients that are there that affect brain development as well as brain performance. So Axio, the caffeinated version, it does what it does by improving mental performance and endurance. That increases physical performance because your brain controls that, supports neurotransmitter function. Um, it reduces mental fatigue and brain fog. All right, and it's a super clean, low calorie thing to use. Now, how would you use it? Like I use it daily. Typically, I take a pack and mix it in my drink in the morning or the afternoon, and I drink it throughout the day. There's a caffeinated version that has 100 milligrams of caffeine per packet, and the one the decaf that does not have caffeine in it at all. Here's the other things that are in it. There are B vitamins, DMAE. This is something. There's multiple studies on that, and the ability it has to help people with focus and perform. L-theanine, which has a calming effect on brain. Quercetin, which has been known to help produce cellular protection. Green tea extract, which is a natural energy boost, and pine bark. This supports optimal mental performance. Each one of those ingredients are good in and of themselves, and I've read studies on each one, but the power that is in activation of what life energy is founded on is how these particular nutrients work together. And I saw that and I've seen that time and time again with lots of people I've worked with because it's not so much the ingredients, it's how they're combined as the results they get. And when you do that, your brain gets the ability to learn, remember, retain, recall, so it performs as it should. Um, Here's again what's in the product, the B vitamins and such. Um, there's an info sheet on it. There's some really cool posts about it. There's some other videos that are more in depth of what we've seen. But to me, it's something that foundationally should be used every single day. And I feel very comfortable utilizing this with my children as well as others. This is for my kids. They're in college. They make sure they have this before tests, before midterms. I use this with kids with sports performance. I might mix some electrolytes in that. I use this daily for myself for brain protection. So this is the caffeinated version. There's multiple flavors. And then there's the decaf version, and the only difference between the caffeinated and the decaffeinated version is one, the caffeine, and then the other one is you'll notice there's magnesium. Of course, it's an L-theanine, B vitamins, green tea, pine bark, but not the DME. Now, I utilize the caffeine probably more than the decaf, but I use the caffeine a lot with individuals. So I have somebody that's really struggling with learning and development that way. I'll do caffeinated in the morning, and then I might do a decaf in the afternoon. Or somebody like they just tend to get a lot more, they get really nervous or maybe anxious. In those scenarios, I'll utilize the decaf version. If somebody's like ultra sensitive to caffeine or stimulants in nature by nature, I'll use the decaf version. But here's what I've watched time and time again: when the brain performs well, people do better. When they do better, their confidence increases. I can't tell you the number of kids and adults, young adults, that have been using all sorts of forms of stimulants, whether they were prescribed or unprescribed, legal or not, be able to transition into this. And the people are craving what they're craving and sometimes addicted to things like whether it's Diet Coke or whether it's energy drink because their brain's tired and looking for solutions. This is a phenomenal solution that we can utilize for them that's help give the brain performance, protection, and longevity.